In this video, I'm going to talk about interfacing. Interfacing is a type of stabiliser, and it does exactly what it says. It stabilises a collar or a cuff or a button placket. Anyway, we're talking about interfacing, which is just one part of stabilisers. It comes in lots of different forms. The main types are a fusible or non-fusible. So basically a fusible is one which has glue on one side. We need to iron to melt the glue so that the interfacing sticks to the fabric, and the other sort is sewing, which many years ago was all you could get. When I first learned to sew, this is all you could get, so everybody was sewing in the interfacing, but now you can get iron-on, which is a lot easier to use. So with the fusible non-woven, which this one is, this is a non-woven. The fusible non-woven, I don't know whether you can see, but it's just like strands that are just placed along the, I don't know how they're put together, to be honest, just matted together, let's say. Looks like they're matted together. And these are non-woven, and we're talking about the fusible ones. So they come in different sorts of weights, from this one here, which is a lightweight, to a heavyweight. You can see that one's quite flimsy. This one kind of stands up on its own. So here we go. We've got two lightweight collars here, both done with the lightweight. This was a slightly lighter fabric to begin with, but that's what you need for a lightweight fabric, a lightweight interfacing. Okay, and then we've got a couple of cotton ones here, and I've used two different medium weights. Now this one's classed as medium, and so is this. This one is a lighter medium weight, and I use that one for this collar. Absolutely fine. You know, it's not too stiff, it's got a little bit of bend in it, just what you want really. And then this collar here, I used this slightly stiffer medium weight one. This is what I would class as medium weight. Anyway, I've used this one. When I did this one, I also, just for a little bit of an experiment, I cut the interfacing 1 centimetre smaller all round than the actual collar, just to see if it was any easier to put together than the other ones, which I cut the interfacing to the same size as the collar. And to be honest, not much difference at all on a lightweight collar. I would just, in future, always cut collar and interfacing on medium and lightweight to the same size. There's not a lot of difference in it. And then we have the heavyweight, this one here, which is a heavyweight cotton, and I've used a heavyweight interfacing. To be honest, I could probably still have used the medium weight. I think I could. It's quite stiff, this. For me, I don't like things to be too firm. I would rather a little bit of flexibility. So if I was to do this again, I'd have gone with the medium weight and used the, I've lost it again, and you just keep this heavyweight for fabrics like probably denim, something like that. I don't often use it. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, which is a knit. This is a knit interfacing, and as you can see, it stretches, but it only stretches in one direction. So when you're cutting, make sure you get the stretch going in the right direction, in the direction that you want it in. You might want it that way or that way, but get it going in the right direction. I don't very often make collars or cuffs. out of this type of fabric, to be honest, and yeah, it hasn't made a great deal of difference, to be honest, but it probably holds its shape better, let's say. I think it would make it hold its shape better, although you can still stretch it, so I guess that is the purpose of it, to hold the shape in that case. Right, so that's that. Oh, now this is my favourite woven one. So much nicer, I think, but it is more expensive. I'm not sure how much more expensive, but I think I might have paid £12 a metre for that, whereas the other ones are probably £3 a metre. But you do only use, you know, if you're only doing cuffs and collars, you don't use a lot of it, so, you know, up to you which you want. Right, on to the sewing. It is exactly what it says. You sew it in. This is, I think, a medium weight. Could be a heavy weight. Heavy weight? Medium weight, does it say? Medium weight. I think it's medium weight. Correct that later if it's not. And you sew it in. Okay, so I've taken a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance and I've done it in dark thread so you can see it. If I was to put this collar together, which I won't because it's only for the purpose of this experiment, we'd do a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, so our seam would come inside this basting, so we'd never see the basting really, but you could take it out if you wanted to, but it will be on the inside and nobody will ever know it's there. So that's that. Now you might say, why on earth would you want to use a sewing when a fusible one is so much easier? Well, there are a few occasions when you can't use the fusible one, like say if you had a fabric that couldn't be ironed or a fabric that couldn't get wet, or you could have a fabric with a very loose weave, so the weave is very loose and the glue is going to seep through the weave and make a bit of a sticky mess, which you don't really want. And the fourth and last reason that you might want to use this is that your fabric is too delicate to iron. And in that case you could use this, but you could also use just another piece of a sheer fabric or something, you know, because I'm guessing if it's too delicate it's going to be something like a sheer fabric in the first place, and you could just use a plain sheer fabric to make an interfacing. Anyway, that's up to you. Right, now let's just talk about colour. I think that's the last thing. No, it's not, second to last thing. Colour. The common colours you can get are white, black, and I think this might be grey. Grey, black, charcoal. Anyway, basically you use the darker colours for darker colour fabrics and the white for white and lighter coloured fabrics. And the only other thing that I need to say is that interfacing needs pre-washing, as does your fabric, before you use it. So check on the manufacturer's instructions to see how you should wash and pre-wash your interfacing. Okay, I think that's about everything that I can think of on interfacing. If you can think of something else, please let me know in the comments. And thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video and you've learnt something from it, could you please like and subscribe? Thank you very much.